Lesson 7. A clock outside the building. Long ago, there was a tall building in a town. It was a famous business center. There was a clock outside the building. Almost all the people of the town did their work according to the time shown by this clock. This clock always showed the correct time. It was a digital clock. It had large neon red numbers that glowed both day and night. You could read the clock from an entire block away. It sat prominently a few yards above the main doors of the business center. The building stood right in the corner of a major intersection in the town. In some ways, the clock stood in the very center of the town. One day, the time on the clock started slowing down by a few minutes. At first, no one worried about it. After all, if you are 2 minutes late or 2 minutes early, is there any harm in it? However, the clock's health got even worse. Not only did the clock slip back a lot, sometimes it would actually jump forward an hour or two and then jump back to being a few minutes late. It was clear to everyone in the town that this was a sick clock. What do you do with a sick clock though? Take it to a clock piddle? Visit a clockter? You are right. Treating a sick clock is not an easy thing to do. First, you need to find out what's wrong with the clock. Then, you need to find a place that sells the particular part that needs replacement. The center was eager to get the clock fixed so that it could start working again. The center became even more eager after the previous month's birthday party. A young child on the way to a birthday party burst into tears. He looked up at the clock and thought that he was going to be late. On that day, the clock was running about 2 hours fast. The child was in perfect time for the party.
He just thought he was late.
Because who would ever doubt the time on the public clock? Many other such things happened. One day, an army major was traveling through the town. Being an army major, he would regularly adjust his wristwatch to make sure it was perfectly on time. When he saw the clock above the center, he immediately reset his watch 3 hours ahead of time. The next morning, he woke his troops at 3 a.m. to do their regular 6 a.m. 10-mile morning run. The soldiers did not find that funny, and so they stopped by to pay a friendly visit to the city mayor. Please, 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 repair the clock above the door of the business center, they said. Each one of us would like to give money to repair the clock, they added. The mayor, a kind young man, promised that he would do whatever he could to repair the clock. He decided to switch off its electricity until the clock was repaired. For 3 weeks, the lights on the clock were entirely dark. And then, one day, a truck drove up to the center with a very small package. Inside that package was a very small part that made the clock healthy again. The town heaved a sigh of relief. When the clock was switched on again, then everyone reset their watches and went on their merry way.